Today we are testing out the Aventon Soltera. It is a single speed e-bike. It's only 1,200 bucks, but is it any good? Keep on watching our full review to find out more. Now the first thing you'll notice about this bike, besides the fact that it is incredibly lightweight, it's only 41 pounds, and it's only one speed. Now, it's really not that big of a deal because you only use one speed at most times when riding an e-bike, but it's at speed, the right speed. I don't shift gears a whole lot unless I am going up and down hills or navigating a lot of traffic. But let's just take us for a ride and I'll tell you my honest thoughts. Let's go. Set my kickstand up. Hey geese, what are you doing, geesey geese? Huh? Oh, just pooping right there, cool. Now one of the first things you'll notice is it does not have mechanical disc brakes. It actually has old school caliper ones like you'd find on a kid's bike. And this bike is not as high powered as some other bikes, but it works and it's really easy to ride. And like I said, if you're riding around the city, you probably don't need a whole lot of gears, especially if you have several different levels of pedal assist. But my main concern in riding this was, frankly, the brakes. Would it be able to stop fast enough? Now, this is the single speed version. The 7-speed version does have disc brakes, part of what adds to the overall weight of the e-bike too, but let's just get this bad boy up and going and see how quickly it stops. It does have a max speed of about 20 miles an hour without using the pedals. Let's just see if we can get it going 20 miles an hour and see how long it takes to brake. Let's do it. Nine, 10, 12, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. This brake is a little bit loose, but that is my own fault. Can always manually loosen them up a little bit here. Don't recommend doing that. Always go straight to the source when you can. But that is a pretty legit stopping point for going 20 miles an hour. I'm really pleasantly surprised, actually. This is a lighter weight e-bike. It does not have a front suspension. It does have smaller front and rear tires, which took me forever to put together because it had a weird little valve I've never seen before. And I thought it was the tire making the leaking noise. Turns out it was just the seat, which is super odd. I had what I thought was issues with the tire. I thought it was leaking. You hear this noise? It's actually the seat. It's got some air cushion in it. It's funny. But let's go take us for a ride. But this bike brakes incredibly well, even for just these caliper brakes. That's pretty impressive what they've done here. Let's go take us for a ride and see what else we can find. Whoa. Now, this is a pretty steep hill that's up ahead. And when I had my old school non-electric bike, it was always the area that I struggled with the most. So let's just see how this bike, single speed, handles it and if it's gonna give me huffing and puffing all the way up. So let's just do it. I'm gonna start out with just a little bit of throttle to get going. And let's pedal. Pedal assist level 5. Does not have the lurching forward that some of the e-bikes do when using pedal assist, which is a good thing. Does have nice and smooth. I wish it got up just a little bit faster, but really not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. I would not recommend this e-bike for heavy off-roading, obviously. It's got the small tires. But for trips around your neighborhood on paved lots, this bike has no problems doing whatever you need it to. I really don't feel like I have the need to adjust different gears on this very much. I wish it did have just a little bit more get up and go at the very beginning. It does have a 350 watt motor, which is not a whole lot. Most other e-bikes that we've tested here have about a 500 watt motor. Some of the heavier duty ones have upwards of 750 watts. It is a rear hub motor. It's back here, but it gets the job done. Yeah, when I'm just starting out like that, it takes a second for the pedal assist to come in. That's where I do feel a little bit lack of horsepower, lack of being able to switch gears. But it's not bad at all. Now once again, it's just my neighborhood area here. Nice and easy riding. Now I'm going 20 miles an hour pretty easily. I'm not huffing and puffing at all here. There's that, takes us just that split second for pedal assist to come on. Let me stop here and I'll show you. Pedal, 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 kick in, there it is. And it is a little bit higher than I could just start off with, the gear, but it's really not that big of a deal. Once again, let me show this to you one more time here. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Now it kicks in. Takes a couple turns for it to kick in. Once again, not a giant, big ordeal, but it's noticeable for sure. This is a fun, lightweight little street bike. I really don't have much to complain about. It is what it is, it knows what it is, and that's fine. All right, so let's talk about who this bike is for. If you live in the city and you do need a lightweight bike, this is a pretty sweet one actually. This is super lightweight, super comfortable, super easy to drive. It does come in two different sizes, small and large. For taking trips to the grocery store, Subway, it's nice and easy. It's super easy to pick up. Go ahead. Super easy to pick up and carry it up to an apartment if you need to. Carry it on a bus or a subway. It'd be really easy to do that. And it's just easy. It's just an easy bike to operate, to carry, to lift, and would be perfect for someone in the city. Now, who would I not recommend this bike for? If you are going on any off-road trails, would not recommend this bike for that. Paved trails would be fine. It'd be a totally fine bike to go on some paved trails with. Commuting, this would be a great e-bike to commute with. Once again, the only thing that I didn't care for with this bike was the get up and go with pedal assist. Was just a little bit slower than I would prefer. And I'm gonna go this way so I don't hit these people. And if you're gonna carry a lot of cargo with you, maybe check out a different e-bike. There is no rear rack included. You can always add one after the fact. And you can have a max payload. I think it's like 300 or 350 pounds. I'll put the exact specs here on the video itself. But for 1,200 bucks, this is a lot of fun of an e-bike. I could take this on trips, go to the park. Be good if you have a kid that likes to ride their bike a lot, but you don't need a super serious e-bike. You just want to keep up with them and not have to pedal so much. That'd be another good use for this e-bike. Oh, there's where you don't feel, you actually do feel the lack of suspension quite a bit. So far I've not felt it except for just going over that little bump. That was a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. Once again, it just takes just like one or two turns too little to kick in on the pedal assist. Not a deal killer by any stretch of the imagination. And it will kick on, just takes half a second longer to to do that. In Fort Collins here, people are actually respectful of bike cyclists, and I do appreciate that a lot. Especially when doing these videos. It also does not have fenders, so if you live somewhere where there could be a lot of puddles, I recommend adding some fenders to this e-bike. It does have some really cool integrated lights. I'll show you what that looks like when it's dark out. Cut in here. But it's a well-designed, beautiful bike. It's got lots of nice, subtle details that some other bikes that are maybe directly from China or somewhere else do not have. Yeah, there you go. You can feel the lack of suspension there. Even just on some of these little neighborhood trails, it does make it, you do feel a little bit of a bumps more than you would obviously on a fat tire e-bike or on something with a full front suspension. This is a great value. I'm not riding this on the most perfect day, but whew, it's about to be like a high of negative, or high of, I don't know, 5 degrees over the next couple of days. So thought I would take a couple of these e-bikes I've been working on out for a spin today. Beautiful day. Once again, man, just that half beat of having to take off is just a little bit rough. But that's really the only complaint I have about this e-bike. The battery is integrated into the e-bike here. It's got about a 20-mile range if you just use pedal assist, or if you just use the throttle, I'm sorry. It has about a 40-mile range when you are doing pedal assist and pedaling for yourself, which is pretty darn good. I mean, it's a lightweight bike, does not require a whole bunch of horsepower to get up and going. That's the good and the bad. The good part about it is it makes it super lightweight, super easy to maneuver in the city. I would have no problems riding this city, or even if you're a college kid, this would be a great bike for a college kid that needs to be able to pick it up, move it around. And the other good thing about this e-bike, it doesn't look like an e-bike. You don't have that giant battery here. You don't have some crazy big tires or suspension. It looks just like a normal bike. So I'd imagine you're much less likely to get this bike stolen than some of the other ones like the Rad Rover 6 that we've tried. But it's a great e-bike. I really like a lot of the Aventon bikes that they've been putting out. I hope to try the Adventure compared to the Rad Rover 6 here shortly. It's a great e-bike brand, and I've seen a lot of people with the Adventure and they love it. So if you have any questions or comments, let us know below. Hope to see you again real soon. There we go.